You
Okay.
know, there's this joke. They say like, PhD life is like a holiday, right? But you work on holidays.
Oh, hello everyone. Welcome back to the series. My name is Jason, and today I'll be your host for this podcast, Jason in a Chatterbox, JAAC, a podcast where I learn about things in life from a series of discussion with my friends or domain expert, and also to improve myself as a better conversationalist. In this episode, we will be talking and discussing about some aspect of the academics work with a guest that is more familiar with it. Why? Because this guest eventually will be a part of uh, a small group of individuals between 24 to 65 that only 1.1% of this individual will ever be. You might wonder why is it the case? 1.1%? Because these individuals are those that age between 24 to 65 and have attained PhD and went to the university, doctorate of philosophy, possibly the highest education level one can get on this earth. In this episode, my guest is a brilliant PhD candidate whom I have known since his undergraduate period. He is also the 2017 Global Undergraduate Award winner in the Physics and Mathematics category. If you don't know what it is about, it's equivalently or often called as a Junior Nobel Prize. And besides that, the reason that why I managed through of my first year of university because of this guy, he carried me all the way through my first year of university with his hardworking attitude, right? In the end, he eventually graduated with a valedictorian title of my cohort. So please welcome Mr. Jeremy Lim. Thank you for coming, Mr. Jeremy.
Thank you. You've been too kind in your introduction.
Nah,
I was failing my math major. I think you were the one who carried, or rather carried me.
but
Yeah.
but you are the one carrying me through all the way of my physics. Thank you so much for that.
Nah, no worries. We all work hard. We all work hard. We're doing our undergrad. Yeah.
How's your work nowadays? Your research? I saw that there is a pending research to be published, right?
Yeah. So far I've published three works during my PhD.
Mm-hmm.
Two related to my topic. One is an extra project.
Oh,
Uh, two are pending publication, and right now we've just started a few new projects and a few new collaborations. Yeah,
sounds
yeah.
very intense. Okay, but before we go talk deeper to learn more about your PhD life, would you mind to share about yourself, what you do, and then what's your name, and then your background?
Yeah, okay. So, my name is Jeremy, and as Jason has already shared, I did my undergrad in NTU, and
Yes.
we spent a lot of time in SPMS doing both physics and math before I dropped out. And yeah, yeah, that's a summary of my university life. And after graduation, I actually started my PhD in the Singapore University of
Mm,
Technology and Design.
mm.
And yeah, hopefully after that, well, we'll see what goes on after I graduate. Yeah.
Definitely. I will definitely ask about that as well later.
Okay, sure.
What about your focus of research? Can you share more?
Okay, yeah. So, the main topic of my research is actually how lasers interact with new classes of materials. So,
Mm,
for instance, one prime example would be graphene. So, we are interested in studying how when you actually uh expose such materials, special materials, to extremely strong laser fields. How do the electrons in these materials move,
mm-hmm.
and how we can use their unconventional behavior uh, in applications such as ultra fast computing
Ah,
or extra compact light sources. Yeah, so one example would be sources of X-rays,
oh,
which currently actually require huge accelerator facilities to generate strong X-ray beams. But using such materials, it has been shown that yeah, you can actually shrink such X-ray light sources to tabletop sizes. Yeah, so that's one of
oh.
the goals of my research, to
Means that
create compact light sources. Yeah.
previously you said that the sources must be very bulky, very large in size, is it?
Uh, in general, X-rays can be produced on small scales. So, for
Ah, okay.
instance, if you go to the clinic, you can take an X-ray in a clinic.
Correct.
But the thing is, these X-rays in the clinic, they are not very strong and they are
Hmm,
not very coherent.
I
Yeah.
see.
So to generate extremely strong X-rays, you need like 1 kilometer accelerator. You know those that you find at like Stanford. Yeah.
Yes, the one that is very
Yeah.
huge, taking a lot of space, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. So yeah, there must be some big words coming in, and some of you might be overwhelmed. So yeah,
Okay.
I have your topic research here, and then I don't know. Have you ever heard about the term Eli 5?
No.
So in the internet culture or knowledge, there is the term called Eli 5, ELI 5, that abbreviates from explain like I am 5.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I've heard of
So
that.
yes,
Okay.
so explaining like to a 5-year-old children, and then your topic research is called terahertz optical intensity for creating high charged attosecond electron bunch.
Yeah.
Can you try to elify this research topic?
Oh, okay. Actually, that is not my PhD topic. That was actually my FYP
Ah,
topic, if you
sorry.
remember.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But I can try and
Yes.
explain that. Okay. So that work was actually trying to create uh okay, so the big picture, the non-5-year-old version first.
Yes.
So it's
Exactly.
actually trying to create a a way to actually image things at very small scales and very short time scales. Okay, so okay, in a 5-year-old manner, for instance, if you want to make a movie, if you are
Yep.
making a movie, it's essentially you are taking many photos very quickly, right?
Correct. Yep.
And as you know, like for instance, if you use your camera phone, what happens if the stuff you are taking picture of moves while you are taking your picture? You get a
Right.
blur, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what we are doing is essentially trying to use electrons to take pictures, but
Oh,
uh, we are trying to shrink the so-called exposure time of this camera to very very short time, so that instead of seeing a blur, you can actually take pictures of very short duration.
I
Like
see.
you fire a bullet from a gun, you
Correct.
can you see those extremely slow motion or
It's slow
yeah
motion in some.
stop photography. Yeah,
I see.
yeah.
Okay.
So that paper was actually aiming to create extremely short electron bunches. So 10 to a power of negative 18 seconds,
Oh,
attosecond long time resolution,
means that
and
very short,
atomic
right?
scale length resolution. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very short and
So
very small.
yeah, yeah. So in a 5-year-old sense, it's essentially trying to create a camera that has very high spatial resolution and very high time resolution.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, you
yeah,
broke it down very nicely. Well done, well done.
yeah.
Okay,
Thanks.
so yeah, you took your PhD in physics, right?
Yeah.
So why out of all the science field, why you choose physics and
Um.
the field that you are
Okay.
currently in?
Uh. Okay. So it's a bit weird. If you are asking me why I chose physics, uh, and not other sciences like
Yes,
biology or computer
exactly.
science, it's because I had a fear of programming last time, so I didn't even take computer science, and I
Hmm.
didn't take biology all my life. So yeah, I can't go into biology. Yeah. But as for my field of study, actually I'm not very restricted.
Oh,
Uh, yeah. So even though on paper you can see my research topic has a very fixed title,
yes.
but the stuff I'm working on is actually very very broad in terms of like material science. My
Mm-hmm.
current projects are actually not even dealing with materials. It's dealing with uh how free electrons interact with lasers and atoms in free space, or
Mm.
using free electrons for quantum computing. Yeah, so uh, I do have preference for certain topics, but I'm not restricted to those topics. Yeah,
So, but
so it's broad
it's not
enough.
not all PhD is very broad, right? Some can be very narrow, is it?
Uh, People usually have the option of choosing. So I mean, a lot of people they would choose one topic and progressively add on like a few papers at a
Hmm.
time to further this one particular topic. But for myself, my supervisor and I decided to not just further like one topic, but um, impact should be a high priority as well. So
Mm-hmm.
doing stuff that we think is important for the community.
Wow,
Yeah, so it's it's not always the case that you have to be restricted to what you started with. Yeah, because people are going to look at the important stuff. So
that's
if
true.
you do an important stuff that's not related to your work, you know, people are still going to take notice. Yeah, so
Yep,
yeah,
yep.
that's our philosophy. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. That's very nice philosophy of thesis. Okay.
yeah,
Uh, okay. When you took your PhD, right? are there anyone that influenced you to do PhD? Maybe your family, your friends, or anyone?
No, it was like just a personal goal. Like,
Wow.
yeah, I enjoyed research last time, or rather, I thought I could continue doing research, yeah, as a full-time job. So like, PhD is sort of the trial period to see
Mm-hmm.
whether I really want to continue into academia or, yeah. But I just enjoy the research process. I believe it's a journey of self-discovery.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
this is pursuing the
yeah,
unknown, right?
yeah. Essentially, yeah, pursuing the unknown. Um, Yeah, essentially you are on your own quite a lot because not even your supervisor will know what results you get. Yeah,
Mm.
like you also have done like research, so like
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, the process is very demanding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
How about response that you receive when you express you want to do PhD? Let's say the response from your friends, your family. How do you feel, or what do you receive? Because I can share from my perspective. When I heard that you were going for a PhD, wow, okay, it's definitely the right fit to go PhD and do research. But what do you receive from your friends and family?
I think my friends kind of expected it because like last time we even talked about this like even to other friends we always discuss like next time I'm doing PhD and things like
Uh,
that. Yeah, so friends not really that much because they kind of expected it because I've made my goals quite clear to them from the start.
mm. Oh,
Uh,
your family?
my parents, yeah, they just ask, what are you going to do after that? What can you do with PhD? And the typical response, yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because people think PhD you can't really do anything else after that.
Mm.
But as you know, you work in like machine learning and
Yep,
data science, right? So you know that the jump to industry is quite possible.
quite possible
Yeah,
indeed.
yeah.
Okay, so you tell us more. Just now tell us the viewers and listener about your entry point. But can you share more? What is your PhD life looks like? Can you describe in percentage what do you do on the daily basis? Is
Okay,
it
I think it
only
really
just research?
Yeah, I I think it really depends on how much you want to commit. So, for instance, I actually have three supervisors. Two
Wow.
of them, two are from SUTD,
Uh huh.
and one is from my FY who was my FYP supervisor, and he recently just became a Nanyang assistant professor,
Wow.
at Triple E. So my day to day, yeah, majority of it will be research. But even research wise, it can be split because like if or people want to collaborate
Mm.
or you're assigned a collaboration and you also have to split your time between your own research, other people's research, helping your friend if your supervisor wants you to help your friend. Uh, there's also for me there was teaching and
Mm.
marking. Yeah, teaching and marking duties, coursework, which is usually just the first 1 2 years.
I see.
Uh, sometimes you have to help out with stuff. So like actually for tomorrow, there's actually a hackathon at SUTD
Wow.
doing Monte Carlo simulations for high school students.
Easy life.
So yeah, for next 2 days we are supposed to teach and help out with these events. So like PhD can be a mix of not just research but other stuff. But at the same time, it also depends on how much you want to commit. Because
Mm.
a lot of the times you can choose to say no, you don't want to take on extra stuff.
Right. Right.
Uh, yeah, yeah.
I
So
heard that even PhD or the research, like those kind of research work, also have a lot of collaboration, as you mentioned, right? Then,
yeah.
how much time do you spend for communicating with your collaborator and all? Can you estimate
Mhm.
like in percentage of your
Uh,
daily basis?
okay. In terms of percentage, okay. So like right now, I have two major collaborations. Actually, I have more than that, but they are just starting out, so there's not much
Hmm.
stuff to be done. So like the two major ones, um, it actually depends because we can say, or okay, so one of them is actually a group in Nanjing, China.
Hmm.
So we are actually we're actually providing theoretical support and they're doing their experiments. So it can be as little as once a week or once every 2 weeks, whenever
Okay.
data comes in. Yeah. But for theoretical work, it actually depends on how quickly you wish to uh move things forward. So yeah, it's really flexible.
Hmm.
But in terms of percentage wise, right now, yeah, maybe 1 2 meetings a week in terms of collaboration. Yeah.
See.
Then of course when you're writing a manuscript, when people are putting giving their input, then maybe more than once a week. Every draft maybe they'll send comments or things
Mm-hmm.
like that.
A lot of review session, right?
Yeah.
We have a guest, right? So yeah, that one is PhD. But what do you think of your bachelor period? Do you miss it, your bachelor period, and then how different it is?
Bachelor period is like very structured. You are just chasing grades. All your tutorials have answers.
Correct.
I wouldn't say bachelor is easy. I would just say it's very different from research. Yeah, so yeah, I think I miss my bachelor's time a lot. Yeah, less stressful than yeah.
Less stressful. Okay.
I think it depends on preference. Yeah, some
Okay.
people find research easier, some people find studying easier. Yeah.
From the way that you explain it means that research or PhD life a little sporadic because there's no curriculum compared to bachelor then.
It can be more directionless, or
Oh.
it can be a bit flexible and indefinite in terms of
Oh.
your goal. Yeah.
Okay. And if that's the case, is definitely matter of preference for
More
individual.
uncertain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
Okay.
there's this joke. They say like PhD life is like a holiday, right? But you work on holidays.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Every day is a
so
Saturday, but you work on
you
Saturday.
will work on Saturday. I
Yeah.
see. So are there any particular period or moment that makes you say, "Oh, this is the reason why I love and do PhD," or the other opposite? Why do I even sign up for this PhD? Do
Yeah.
you have?
So yeah, definitely. So like I mean, you definitely get the second case way more often. Most likely, it's almost every single day.
What
But
happened? What happened?
I don't. Sometimes your like review comments come back. They are not
Mm.
great, or just some reviewers are very nasty and unprofessional, or like your manuscript rejected like 5 times and you have to keep rewriting every single time. Yeah,
Oh,
or yeah, you just have no idea how to solve a problem. Yeah,
are
but
are they the
I
same
mean,
reviewer time to time, or is it different reviewer in the same institution?
oh, we have no idea actually.
You have
Supposed
no
to be
idea, right?
blind reviewer, so we have no idea who is the reviewer. Although
So
sometimes you can guess. Yeah,
so you keep repeating the process, submit, receive the response, submit and receive the response until you get the green light.
and sometimes they don't even send to the reviewer. Sometimes the editors just reject. So yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
But I mean, there are good times. I mean, the good times is always when you get the results you want. Right?
Right,
Yeah,
right. Let's say
yeah. So
you
that
suddenly got the green light.
yeah, suddenly you get the results you want. Then everything seems to be you suddenly love research again. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, it's definitely very frustrating, like those feedback loop error, I would say.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, for
Yes,
your
yes.
PhD, do you envision the PhD that you have back then? Like let's say when you just under your bachelor period, and the one that you are going through, are there a lot of difference the expectation and the reality that you're having on right now?
Yeah, I like in terms of personal goals. It actually differs quite a lot. I expected myself to be more productive.
Mm.
Uh, and maybe more restricted because I expected to be only doing one topic, but I've been given like a lot of topics that I'm uncomfortable in during PhD that I have to learn to get used to. So I guess it's not good or bad, or maybe it's good because like it trains you to adapt to uncomfortable situations.
Mm.
Yeah, but it can be quite scary that you're supposed to pick up a new topic, but you're supposed to support a group that have been doing this topic for quite some time. Yeah,
Mm.
so it can be it's more intimidating than I thought. Yeah,
But
yeah.
your idea here, it's been like 3 years, I think. 3 years since you start your PhD,
This
right?
is my third year. Yeah, so
Yes.
in September I start my fourth year. Yeah,
And you start to prepare your thesis, is it?
yeah, thesis. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe yeah, fourth. Usually people graduate fourth to fifth year. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Then what kind of misconception do you often receive as a PhD student or candidate? As a physicist per
Mm.
se as well.
As a PhD candidate, I think the most common one is studying all day. Cause studying implies that there's already an answer, right? You can just study stuff. But
Ah,
I think it's it has way more common with I mean it has a lot of in common with normal jobs more than people may expect. Yeah.
oh,
Because you know, every single day you go to work, you sit at your computer,
right.
you still have deadlines to meet. It's just the job you do is slightly different. But then there's
Mm,
still annoying people in the office. There's people you like and don't like in the office, you know. I mean a lot of it is the same. Maybe our hours are slightly different, but yeah, it's
yeah,
I think yeah. So I think the right way to look at a PhD is more like equivalent to an apprenticeship for a job. It's like a super long internship. Yeah, you know.
ah, it's,
Yeah.
it's,
No
it's, where, it's where you join the observation period, right? Where you, it's called
yeah.
the shadowing kind of things, right?
Yeah. It's like you know patent attorneys or specific types of lawyers before they take the bar exam. Yeah,
Mm,
it's just like that. You're just waiting for your exam results, but then you're getting like additional experience. Yeah.
right. Okay. So yeah, let's see. Oh, now right about PhD, they seems that there's a lot of misconception of a lot of studying. Do you think that
Yeah.
one need do you think somebody need to be smart to go for PhD or doctorate, or just diligence and passion is enough?
Uh if okay, so obviously the ideal condition would be both smart and hardworking.
Hmm.
Because these people are usually those who do very, very well. Or you definitely need diligence and hard work. Cause I know people who did extremely well in school,
Mm-hmm.
like very, very, very well, but just didn't really do well in PhD or research in general. But I would say that there's a minimum standard in terms of entry point.
Mm.
Not saying that below this point you can't get in or you're not suitable, but it will make your life a lot easier if you were actually of a certain standard. Yeah.
Ah, right.
So I will take myself as an example. Okay. So like
Yes, exactly. Please explain
I
yourself.
yeah. So I've a lot of trouble picking up some topics because I think my some of my foundations are actually not really there yet, or at
Mm.
least not very strong. So yeah. So I think I would have a much easier time if I had like let's say a way better understanding or way better memory that could help me recall like all the fundamental
Mm-hmm.
quantum mechanics stuff from like year one and two, or the group theory stuff that comes naturally to people. Yeah,
I see.
because yeah, if you are naturally smart, I think it would help. It would actually help you visualize more interesting connections between a lot of topics.
Mm.
Yeah, and those are actually the important pieces of work. Yeah, so not necessarily a requirement, but it'll make your life a lot easier if
Easier.
you yeah yeah
So smart enough is not sufficient. Patient and diligence, hardworking enough is also not sufficient. So you need both.
uh okay, not you probably okay, passion, hard work, yeah, diligence, and eagerness to learn. Yeah,
Mm.
I would say that most people who go into university most likely can make it to PhD because if you made it to university, there's already a minimum standard, right?
Ah, right, right,
Yeah,
right. So
yeah,
so it's the
it's
minimum standard criteria.
yeah. I mean, it's not like the old days, like 100 years ago, where there are so few PhD students. So
Right, right.
yeah. So like nowadays, I mean, it's also I think easier than last time to get in. Yeah, unless
And
you're aiming for like Harvard,
yes, yeah.
MIT.
It depends also the institution that you're going for.
Yeah,
Okay. But
yeah.
okay. Uh okay, I have a question point that I'm curious because there's a hearsay I heard from friends and what is your plan after completing your PhD? I heard that you're planning to open a food or bar related business. Is that true? What do you
No,
plan? What do you plan for after your PhD? I'm curious.
there's like a pipe dream. If I won the lottery, if I won like Singapore sweep 30 million, then maybe. Yeah, but no, that's not practical. Not at least not as a starting point. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, definitely not. That's definitely not what I'm gonna do. I don't have the money to start.
So
Yeah.
what are you planning to do after your PhD? Are you going to the
Uh,
workforce or are you going to further academics, pursue the what is
I
called
think I'm going to
professorship?
do most likely going to do industry.
Oh,
Yeah, industry. because I don't think I have the stamina to continue in academia.
See.
Because competition is very fierce.
Mm.
Positions not many as well. So I think it's better if I hit the industry.
Do you feel burnt out
But
about that?
not necessarily burnt out, but I just think more practical. I'm not going to force it if I'm not naturally talented in research. Yeah,
Mm. Mm.
yeah, because it's one thing to go into academia, but you don't survive very well, or
Right.
you always can't get funding and you don't do very well.
Yes.
Yeah,
So you want to have the right balance between the academics and then the practicality, as you mentioned in your research topic.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So let's say if you can go back in time, I know it's not possible by physics. Will you tell your younger self, your let's say your 5-year-old self, to take a doctorate?
Uh, I don't think I would change anything. So I would just let
Oh.
let, let my younger self do. Cause even though I plan to leave academia, right, doesn't
Mm.
mean I regret it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Mm.
So I don't think anything bad came out of it. Yeah, it's just that when one chapter ends, you just start something new. Yeah. But I won't erase this chapter in my life. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So
Also,
yeah.
so yeah, sorry. Reflecting from your experience, right? You are continuing PhD right after your bachelor. Why is it the case? Why don't you take some break then you go for PhD?
Um, you can actually take a break, but for me, I think a direct continuation would be good. So I was already exploring new topics even before I got a PhD program.
Yep.
So
Mm-hmm.
so it just seemed like a natural continuation. Yeah,
Is
but well, we had a few months break. So
was it the momentum? Like the momentum to
yeah,
study on fire, right?
yeah,
I see.
yeah.
What do you think of doing the further academics like PhD? What do you think is the upside and the downside of doing one?
Uh, Doing academia or going to academia, the upside definitely trains you in being uncomfortable, I would say,
Mm.
or in terms of uncertainty. Yeah. And I think it takes a lot of willpower to go through 4 years of not necessarily any going no fixed direction. Yeah, I
Mm.
mean I guess that's the upside. I mean it trains you to be comfortable with what's uncomfortable. But downside, I think it's very easy to get caught up in an unregulated lifestyle. So there's no 9 to 5. So
Oh.
obviously a lot of people in academia in general, I mean especially even the smart people, they will be uncomfortable and they think they are unproductive.
Mm.
Whether they are or not is a different story, but uh you get imposter syndrome. So you always feel the need that
Mm.
you always need to keep working. So you work beyond your working hours into an unhealthy lifestyle, no exercise or you don't eat properly.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
so I think the downside is it's very easy to lose control of your lifestyle or
Mm.
really just lose direction, losing losing yourself, basically losing yourself to the PhD and
Be-
forgetting that there's a life out there. Yeah.
Because of the irregularity of the work itself, right?
And because of the pressure, and a lot of the pressure is also self-induced pressure. So you
Oh.
just feel the need to keep pushing yourself because you think you're not doing enough. You
Mm.
compare yourself with people. Yeah, yeah.
See. About your that irregular and then so I'm wondering if the PhD also affecting your sorry outside of your academics work. Let's say your life commitment. I believe you are married, right?
Yeah,
And this year will be your third anniversary, I guess, or
I think
second.
so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. So do you think how do you balance your life commitment and PhD? What is your common struggle about it?
I think I'm lucky because my wife is also doing PhD.
I
So
see.
we sort of understand the requirements of PhD students. But obviously I know that I'm lucky, but I know of people who are not so lucky. I mean, uh I think it's a bit hard for people who haven't done research to understand the level of commitment required. Yeah, so sometimes there may be friction in like normal relationships. Yeah, so I think like I also have few colleagues, and my wife also got a few colleagues that
Mm-hmm.
they are doing research, especially experiments. They do until like quite late. They spend like days in the lab. Then sometimes you don't spend time with your like or your partner. So
Yep.
yeah, I mean that could be a cause of concern, or that could be a source of friction between people. Yeah, so yeah, I guess I'm lucky enough to have an understanding wife.
Yep.
Yeah,
So the common typical source of conflict is the misunderstanding of the commitment for PhD itself.
yeah, time commitment, maybe even money. Yeah,
Yeah.
because like not we are not paid that well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like people can start off with a lower pay. Like let's say PhD stipend is higher than some of my friends' starting pay. But by the end of the 4 years I graduate, I'm receiving the same pay. They get pay raise, they get bonus. Yeah, So
They
it
have
kind
the
of
additional amount, right?
yeah. Yeah.
Mm. Now, with all of this, whom do you think PhD for? What kind of goal in mind wanting to have to before they pursue PhD? What do they should have in mind?
Mm, they should love discovering things. They should love like really they should like problem solving a lot. And
Mm.
problem solving not with solutions, but they should love the job of finding the solution for mankind. Yeah,
Mm.
finding problems that mankind already has, and putting your own spin to it, finding solutions. Yeah. You must love problem solving a lot.
See. Now, what do you think? Physics is I believe physics is a strong part of life because we use all of the physics application in our life, our computer, our chipset, and all.
Yeah.
I want to twist it a bit. What do you think the parallel that you can draw between your physics study, your PhD work, and then life itself?
Hmm. Okay, yeah. So between like maybe I can draw parallels between my PhD workflow and life itself is that uh you should always aim to be a bit on the lazy side.
Wait,
So
what?
like you should sometimes aim it's sometimes smart to aim a bit on the lazy side. So I realize the key to efficiency is actually aiming to do things so that you can be lazy. So for instance, like you
Ah,
should set up your simulations to run for weeks and weeks or while you're asleep so that you don't have to spend unnecessary time on repeating yourself. So
alright.
like you should always find ways to do things in an easier way. Yeah.
So
So
it's
I think
improving yourself so you can be lazier.
yeah, maybe that's maybe that's not such a nice way to put it, but yeah, so spend effort spend effort on finding easy way to do things.
Hmm.
Yeah, in life. Yeah,
So, but you improve yourself and improve the mankind
yeah,
in some way.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Okay, that's a good few point.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But not asking people to be lazy, but like just yeah,
you
find
but
ways to make your life easier.
yes, it's
Yeah,
but it's not like offer engineering something to solve a very simple issue. It's like
yeah,
hmm, understand.
yeah,
That's very understandable point.
yeah.
Okay. Last one. Do you have any message or forewarning to those that intend to do PhD?
Warning.
Forewarning or message or inspiration or something, whatever you want to convey to.
Maybe a message like yeah, it's going to be a hard journey for sure. I mean, yeah, you would definitely feel like giving up a lot of the time, or you feel like you're incapable a lot of the time. But I mean, that's supposed to be part of the journey. So if you feel that, it's normal. Uh, most PhD students actually feel it. So yeah, just press on, and you'll most likely make it through. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's very well said message. So yeah, thank you, Jeremy, for coming down to talk
no
and
problem.
discuss. That's all, viewers. What we have for today. We talk a bit more about what is the PhD life looks like, and then what is the journey looks like, and what is the struggle. So yeah, Jeremy, let's say they want to find you. I believe, where do they can find you? I believe it's better to reach you via LinkedIn or
ResearchGate.
ResearchGate.
Okay, I do have
Yes.
LinkedIn.
Yes.
I do
So
have LinkedIn, but ResearchGate is also there.
yep.
Yeah.
I'll put the ResearchGate or the Google Scholar page in the description in case you want to study what Jeremy is doing for the.
Or LinkedIn. LinkedIn is also fine. Yeah.
To better humanity in physics. So yeah, thank you so much, Jeremy. So that's all that I have, viewers, and I'll see you in the next episode. This episode will be available in Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts soon. I'm working on the Apple Podcasts and YouTube. So yep, that's all, and see you next episode. Bye bye. Thanks, Jeremy.
Bye.